Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Recently, SGPC has decided to display the bullet hit Guru Granth. Guru Granth is a Holy Book of Sikhs and is deemed not as a book but is deemed as a living God. Curiously, although it's called as the living God, because the last Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, had declared that the next Guru would be Guru Granth. And so, this is the final, sovereign, eternal Guru and follows the lineage of the 10 human Gurus of the religion. As a matter of fact, because Guru Gobind Singh said that this is the next Guru and this is deemed to be the sovereign and eternal Guru, it excites the Sikh people, the Sikh nation, because for them this is the living incarnation of what they have been taught, what they have been told traditionally. And this is a central holy religious scripture. It differs from other holy scriptures insofar as nowhere does it claim to be the word of God, and yet its pervasive music, its pervasive lyrics, its deep philosophy, its overall comprehension, bypassing all sectarian outlook, makes it an ideal, shall I say, book, a holy book, I'll prefer to call it. And the first rendition of this was compiled by the fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev, completed on 29th of August 1604. And it was installed, first Guru Granth was installed in Golden Temple of Amritsar on 1st of September 1604. Baba Buddha, the holy man who was the Sikh Guru's main man Friday, was appointed the first priest, head priest, first Granthi in the Golden Temple. Shortly afterwards, the sixth Guru, Guru Hargobind, added Ramkali Diwar to Guru Granth. And then Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru, added the hymns of Guru Tegh Bahadur to Adi Granth. And that is what Guru Granth is today. The second edition by Guru Granth also came to be known as Guru Granth Sahib instead of Adi Granth. Now, when I look at it, I am reminded that all scholars belong to different religions have something to say about the authenticity of Guru's teaching. For example, Arthur MacAuliffe says that the Sikh religion differs as regards the authenticity of its dogmas and other theological systems. Most of the great teachers are known, have not left a line of their own composition. Nobody has written them. It's the other people who have written it. Look at Christianity, look at Vedas, look at Quran. Even Quran was verbal tradition, but nobody wrote it. But this is the first and possibly the only book written by the founders and promoters of this religion. And we only know what they taught through tradition or second-hand information. We know the book of St. Luke, we know all the books of New Testament, but they are not by Christ. Now, if Pythagoras wrote his own tenets, his writing would not have descended to us. We know that. Socrates through the writings of Plato. Buddha left no written memorial of his teaching. Confucius, known as to Europeans as Confucius, left no document about his moral and social system. It's the other people. Guru Granth is absolutely different in that way. It doesn't resemble the Gospels of Mark, Luke, John or Matthew. Similarly, Quran, as I said, Prophet Muhammad did not write it. They were written and compiled by the adherents. But the compositions of Guru Granth are preserved as we know them at the first hand, what they taught. So the authenticity of Guru Granth cannot be challenged. And the Dalai Lama, for example, then says that Guru Granth enshrines the message of universal brotherhood and good of mankind. I met Colonel Fin Bobukant, Minister of Religious Affairs in Thailand, way back in 1964-65. And he said, I'm much impressed about Sikhism and the bravery. I felt, rightly too, that the welfare of the religion lies in the welfare of the country, of India as a whole. And the credit goes to Guru Granth. If you remember Pearl Buck, the Nobel laureate, she received the first English translation of Guru Granth. And then she said that I do not find anywhere else the same power of appeal to the heart and mind as I find in these volumes. They are compact in spite of their length, a revelation of the vast reach of the human heart, varying from the most noble concept of God to recognition and indeed the insistence upon the practical needs of human body. So this synthesis of spiritual and temporal is something different. And she says, there is something puzzling and strangely modern about the scriptures. And this contemporary evidence is extremely important. And then lastly is the best. This sense of unity is the source of power, and they speak to any person of any religion or to not. Even atheists can enjoy it. I don't believe in God, but then when I hear Gurbani, the music, I feel elated. The total Guru Granth consists of 1,430 pages, and there are 5,894 shabads. There's a line compositions which are poetically rendered and set to rhythmic ancient Indian classical forms of music. The bulk of Guru Granth is divided into 31 main ragas, with each Granth raga subdivided according to the length and to the author. The hymns in which they are read are arranged primarily by ragas. Guru Granth is written in Gurmukhi script, of course, and various languages including Western Punjabi called Landa, Braj Bhasha, Korvi, Sanskrit, Sindhi and Persian. So the Guru Granth was composed predominantly by six gurus, not all the 10. Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amardas, Ramdas, Arjan Dev and Tegh Bahadur. But it contains the traditions and teachings of the 14 Hindu bhakti movements, saints such as Ramanand, Kabir, Namdev, and also Muslim saints like Sheikh Farid. So look at the Catholicity and the secular aspect. When the Guru Granth was edited, they did not edit it on the behalf of the Sikh or the Hindu saints, but participatory nature made them also include the Muslims. And the vision of Guru Granth is most important. It's a social-based expression of divine freedom, mercy, love and justice without oppression. The Granth acknowledges and respects the scriptures of Hinduism and Islam both. It doesn't imply a moral reconciliation with either of the religion. Imagine this. Now looking at the history, Guru Nanak composed hymns which were sung by Mardana in raga secular music. His successor Guru Angad Dev opened centers and distributed these hymns. And this tradition continued with the third and the fourth Guru. The fifth Guru, Arjan Dev, discovered that his elder brother, Prithvi Chand, was trying to compete and become a rival claimant to the Sikh Guruship. And he had a copy of the earlier Pothis. Pothis was the palm leaf manuscripts with hymns and he was distributing the hymns of the earlier gurus along with his own hymns. Guru Arjan Dev considered these as spurious, and he managed to get those. And then he compiled this Adi Granth. This was great, and this was done through the effort of Mohan, the son of Guru Amar Das, who prevailed on Prithvi to give them. And then Guru Arjan Dev naturally wrote how Mohan was helpful, and on the page 248, a dedicated hymn addressed to Mohan is there. Now Mohan is also the name of Krishna. So this way he prayed to Krishna, but compliment was also paid to given to Mohan for helping Guru Arjan Dev get these palm leaf manuscripts from his elder brother, who was trying to be his rival. Now the oldest surviving manuscript version of Adi Granth is now, it was manuscript 1245, and it is in Guru Nanak Dev University, lying there. It is dated 1599. There were other earlier editions also with variations like Bohovi Poti 1600, Banjara Poti, and Bhairupa Poti. Then another early variant is called Guru Harsahai Poti. It's preserved by the Sodhis, who existed when Guru Gobind Singh gave it an expression. And this is preserved in Guru Harsahai. Harsahai is in Punjab, in Faridkot, Punjab, 35 kilometers off. And then the state government moved it to Patiala, and it's a part of the Sikh heritage. As a matter of this is claimed to be the oldest one written in part by Guru Nanak himself. Now, many variations and three significant Adi Granth renditions are known, and these provide insight into how the Sikh scriptures are compiled, edited, and revised over time. There is a fourth significant version called Lahori Bead. Bead is the book, but primarily differs on how the hymns are arranged on the final pages of the Guru Granth. So in 1604, as I said, Guru Arjan Dev officially approved that. So all these beads are of historical reference, but that compiled by Arjan Dev, then revised or rather rewritten by Guru Gobind Singh with the addition of the hymns of the ninth Guru is the final one. And this was basically all that. And Guru Gobind Singh issued a definitive final edition, which included, as I said, and that closed it. This manuscript is called Damdama Bead, and a rare copy of this manuscript is now preserved at Nader in Maharashtra. The composition of Guru Gobind Singh are not there, but they are separately in Dasam Granth, which is compilation of Guru, and that was not done by Guru Gobind Singh, that was done by Mani Singh. Now coming to Guru Granth, who were the contributors? If I look at the hymns, Guru Nanak contributed 16.53% of the contents, Angadev 1.1%, Amardas 15.38%, Ramdas 11.52%, Guru Arjan Dev 32.62%, Tegh Bahadur 5.92%, others 16.2%. And as I said earlier, it contains the hymns of these six gurus, Bhakti movement saints, and two Muslim poets. Apart from that, they are the hymns composed by the bards, who are called bhatts, and 22 of the 31 ragas contain contribution of bhagats. If I total go by count, then Guru Nanak Dev contributed 974 Shabads, Angadev 62, Amardas 907, maximum being Guru Arjan Dev 2218. And bhagats are, as I said, Kabir, Jayadev, Ramnand, Namdev, Tarlochan, Parmanand, Pipa, Sen, Surdas, Ravidas, Sundar, and Kalashar. Bhatts are Bala, Bala, Bhika, Gyan, Harbans, Jalab, Kiran. P's are Freed, Bhagat Bhikan, Bhagat Beni, Sadhana, Dhanna. Then Sikhs are also there. Bhai Sundar, Bhai Pyara, Bhai Mardana, Balwant Rai, Bhai Satta. Now these constitute basically the historical condition. There are manuscript editions. There are 4 or 5 manuscripts still available, and they are great contribution. The composition is, as said earlier, is in 6th edition, and this is basically, now what is in it that makes it different? The Gurus considered divine worship through Shabad Kirtan, through music, as that was the best means of attaining the state of bliss, and that is called Vismad. It was a direct communication with God, and as I told you, 31 ragas. Ragas are the classical Indian music. The introductory chapter of Guru Granth contains Mool Mantra, Ek Omkar, Satnam, Kartapuram, Japji Sahib, Rairas, and Sohela. These are composed by Guru Nanak. That is the introductory. And the 6 gurus, followed by that, come then. And a raga is composed in a series of melodic motifs based on a definitive scale. So this is possibly again the first book, or the only book which is purely based on music. The 7 Shara summarizations provide the basic structure. The main there are more than 60 sub-ragas in 31. Asa, for example, Gujri, Deepak, Dhansari, Purvi, Gauri, Dakhni, Bhargi, Purvi, Deepak, and so on. As I said, 61 sub-ragas, 31 major ragas. And automatically that deals with the musical part. Now, there is a book called Bhattvani, a Bard Sakro, who was an eyewitness when in 1708 Guru Gobind Singh conferred the title of Guru of the Sikhs on Guru Granth. And this was written by Narbut Singh, who was a Rajput, but he was associated with Guru Gobind Singh. And he records this, that this was an event when the people were really in a state of bliss. Now, there is one thing in this, that since this is the living Guru, there can be no changes in the writings. This includes sentences, words, structure, grammar, meaning. And this tradition was set by Guru Har Rai. He sent his eldest son, Ram Rai, as an emissary to Aurangzeb. And Aurangzeb was a devout Muslim ruler. He objected to a Sikh verse in Asa Diwar. Mitti Musalman ki pede pe kumhyar. And translated it means the clay from the Muslim grave is kneaded into the potter's lump. Now he said it's an insult to Islam. Ram Rai tried to please the emperor by explaining the text was miscopied and modified it. He changed the word Musliman into Beiman, and Aurangzeb was very happy. But when he came back to his father, Guru Har Rai refused to admit his son. He said, get out. He exiled him. And he called his younger son his successor. And after that, Ram Rai was excommunicated, expelled, disinherited. Now, in any Gurdwara, Guru Granth is the focal point and is based on a raised platform. The congregation sits on the floor. And it's given the highest honor. It's taken care of. A Granthi who is responsible for reciting the sacred hymns. And there are many rituals performed. For example, in Golden Temple, they start the rituals by Prakash, and ended by Sukhasan. Sukh means comfort, Asan means rest. As a human being takes as, similarly Guru Granth is carried in a carrier on the head, placed into flower decorated pillow bed palki so that it can sleep, and is tucked into bed. Opening is called Prakash, light. So light shines in the morning. About dawn every day, Guru Granth Sahib is taken out of the bedroom, carried, and then the people, when it is brought into sanctum, pay their homage. Now, though it is the living Guru, it has been translated. The first person to translate was the German philologist Ernest Trump. He studied it for 8 years and then translated it, but it was a biased translation. He was basically critical. He said Sikhism is a dying religion, waning religion, and it will soon belong to history. Of course, that was wrong. Then the second Indologist, Jagannath Mayer, he translated it, and that is deemed to be a good translation. While Trump's translation was literal and mechanical, the second translation by Magyar was authentic, and he followed the syntax of the original version without any changes. As a matter of fact, he brought into picture the closer to Brahminical inference and interpretation. And then came Arthur Macaulay, the British civil servant, who translated it, and that was a good source, but his source was historical information, was Suraj Prakash of Santokh. Macaulay translated appeared in 6 volumes, and Oxford University published it. And Macaulay's translation was extremely pertinent and correct, and was widely accepted. And then Christopher Shackle translated this again with the help of Singh Sabha in 1890s. And he used considerable freedom in restating the archaic poetry in a psalm-like translation. And that's what Pulsbuck wrote, and she was impressed. But the first complete translation was done by Gopal Singh in 1960. And in this translation, the archaic English words like thee and thou are replaced. Then Manmohan Singh translated in 1962, and in 2000 it was translated by Sant Singh Khalsa. Printing is done by SGPC, nobody else can print it. The original copy, as I told you, is with the Sodhi family of Kartarpur, over there still. Now Khushwant Singh, while manuscript was being put together, talks about how the people, the rulers, try to object to it. Mughal Emperor Akbar received a report that the Guru Granth contained messages vilifying Islam. So he wanted to see it. Baba Buddha and Bhai Gurdas brought a copy to him, and Akbar read them. And then he decided that the report given to him was false, and then he presented 51 gold mohurs to Guru Granth. But then his son was not that great, Jahangir, he was against that. Then Aurangzeb, of course, tried to deliberately change it. And this was something which was not a complete. But Guru Granth achieved a status which no other religious book has ever achieved. The way it's venerated, the way it has been interpreted, and the people of all religions, irrespective of whether they're the Sikhs or the Muslims, they understand that this is, though it is Sikh book, does not belong to Sikhs. It belongs to the whole humanity, whole world. This is a compendium of knowledge, spiritual. It's a guideline to living. And this is something, this book, which needs thorough study, veneration, and not only empty reading, but following the way of life that it teaches: honesty, honest work, help others, kids karo, that's do honest work, one chako, distribute whatever you get in the others. What else is required? Honest work, labor, generosity, and fellow feeling. These are the basics, but it's a great philosophy devoid of the religious coloring. The book is a great philosophical treatise and deserves further international recognition, not as a Holy Book of Sikhs, but as a great reference book on Bhakti movement, on the Hindu philosophy, Indic philosophy I will prefer to call it, because the word Hindu might annoy some Sikhs. But then anyway, this book, The Living Guru, is something which stands by itself, peerless, unique. Thank you.